Hey everybody, Robin Landis here with a quick introduction to my Indiegogo for my third book, Nourished. There's lots to read down below to find out more all about the book and what it can offer and why I'm doing it this way. And I just wanted to say a quick hello and start it off. And Indiegogo kind of wants you to do a video anyway, so I thought I would do a quick one now. I have some great ideas for more videos that I'll post as the campaign goes along, involving other people who have done my programs and read my work and putting things in their own words. But I just wanted to start out by saying I'm writing my third book. You might or might not be familiar with my first and second books, Bodyfueling and Herbal Defense, which I wrote over 20 years ago, and I've done a lot of other things in that time in between, other kinds of music, art, communications, freelance writing, but this area of life has always been a passion of mine, formal or informal. It's always been a foundation for me, and I've spent a quarter of a century living the way that I started writing about back in the 90s, and I have brought a lot of things together and have a lot of observations, and I've really honed and deepened and matured my approach and my perspective. And there's obviously a lot to say about it, and that's why there's a lot to read below, but I wanted to say quickly that I'm sure that a lot of people are wondering, why do we need another health or fitness or food or exercise book? And besides the fact that the book is about more than those things, it's really about self-care, which all those things are included and more. It's about what I call radical self-care. It's about really nourishing your body in all the ways, food, movement, sleep, rest, and other practices. But even more than it being about what we do, which I do think there's an information gap, I think there's also an inspiration gap. And that's what my work always really, I think, the place that it was the most unusual, and I think it's even more true now, and I think that's the thing that's most needed now. There's probably 500 more times information than there was even when I first started writing about this. There obviously are so many authors and teachers and gurus and programs and plans and approaches, and so you might say, well, why another one? And the thing is that what my work does is close the information gaps on the basics, the essentials, and help you distinguish what those even are out of all the information that's out there. But more importantly, it's about context and perspective and inspiration and motivation, which is what's really important, because knowing what to do is one piece of it, but doing it is another. And I think it's not just about doing it, it's about wanting to do it, it's about loving to do it, it's about joy in doing it, and I think that's what's really, really missing. And I think how to connect in that way with this part of life, which is really a foundation for everything else that we do, how to think about it, how to see it, how to experience it, how to relate to it, that's the part that, as well-meaning as they are, so many teachers and writers and especially health authorities in the media are just not hitting it. They're not making, they're not helping people make the connection. And I think that was something that I started doing, the reviews from readers and media of my material even over 20 years ago was about that aspect of things, and I think it's only evolved from there. This is not a story, in my case, of someone who's, she did it for a year. Look at her 6 months later. It's like, here I am a quarter of a century later, and I have only, gotten better, I feel like, not just in physically, but in terms of my perspective, my understanding, my relationship to all of this part of life. It's joyful, it's easeful, it's empowering, and I love it, and I experience it completely as a choice. I think my language is different, my whole mindset is different, and is this something that is translatable? Is it transmittable? Yes, I believe it is, through the work that I've been doing with people, formally and informally, for over 20 years. And I look around, over 20 years later, and I see that people are still struggling more than ever in some ways with the same things. And although I stepped back after writing a couple of books and teaching and coaching for a few years, I was very young, and I went on to do other things, and I was very supported in doing all the other things I've wanted to do over the last couple of decades, with my health and energy and fitness. because this part of life is the foundation for all of that. And I just feel that I wanted to return to this field to say, look, I'm looking around and people are still struggling with the same things I was seeing over 20 years ago, and I have some things to say about it. I have a lot to say about it. I think I'm bringing together a lot of things that I've been working with and deepening and evolving and observing over the last quarter of a century, and I'm bringing it all together in one book. It's not just about what to do, it's not just about how to do it, and it's not just about doing it, it's about really loving it. And I can say that, and not enough people can say that, but I think a lot more people can say that, and that's what this is about. It's really, I think there's a possibility for a command of this, a mastery of this, of both knowledge and inspiration in an incredibly radically powerful way that I think that just is not getting to enough people. And I have thoughts about how we can personally make that happen for ourselves, and also about the way this can be shared and taught, so that this approach to this way of looking at and seeing this perspective, this context, can be shared by other teachers and authorities and such. So that's a little taste of what this is about. It's my third book. It's called Nourished. It has a long subtitle. You can read it below. I'm not gonna say the mouthful here. I just wanted to pop onto the video and say a quick hello, messy from post-exercise, sitting on a park bench, no makeup and sweaty, but that's how I roll. Natural, healthy, outdoorsy, and just kind of, not fussy. And I have some great stuff to share. I hope you'll check out the perks. This is a great way to support, basically to help an author create a book advance without having to go to a major publisher, and get anything from, the first crack at getting the book to other things. I have a lot of, I think I have something for everyone. There's art, there's music, there's writing, there's coaching. These are all things that I do, things that I can share. And so if you look over there, it's over there to the right, you'll see all my perks listed, and I'm planning to earn any contribution to this campaign. And by sharing this campaign and contributing to it, you're giving me a book advance instead of a book publisher. We're all getting together to support an artist, basically, in being able to put together, put a piece of work out into the world. I did this with my last CD. It was really successful, and I loved it, and I was really humbled and grateful for the support I got, so I thought I would try it with my book. I did publish my first 2 books with a major publisher, and I had advances, but publishing's changed a lot. That's harder to do now than it was 25 years ago. So doing it this way, and it's going to allow me a couple of months off at least to just focus on the book and get it out into the world, so that a lot more people can have a way of seeing and working with this whole area of life that so many people struggle with and don't need to. And by doing so, I think the contribution that's going to be is that when people can really fuel their bodies and their lives with healthy self-care and love it, and that's taken care of, their energy is not only healthier and better, but their energy is freed up from struggling with this issue, and then people can in turn go out and give their own gifts. And I think that's the biggest gift I can give. I hope you'll help me give it, and please share the campaign and check back. I'll be posting all the time with little maybe additional perks and more videos, and I'm planning to interview a reader of my book, who read my book when she was 19 and now she's 40, and I'm going to have all kinds of other things to post. But for now, a kickstart hello from my Indiegogo for Nourished. Please feel free to post any comments or questions. I'm happy to answer questions, and I wish you great wellness, health, and vitality. Talk to you soon.